Everyone says, get the convertible baby crib. It grows with your baby. It's so great. Marketing, marketing, marketing. Do not get a convertible crib. Hear me out. There are multiple reasons that I'm going to let you know why it just simply does not make sense for 99% of cases. Okay? It does not make sense. So I first want to acknowledge like how it's sold to you and why. It's like, oh, one and done. It grows with baby. It's the only bed you will ever buy them. It feels like a money-saving system, and I get why people are convinced into doing it. The main problem, though, is it does not work with multiple children. Okay, so if you truly are a one-and-done family, you're going to have an only child and that's it, consider the convertible crib, but I still don't recommend it. Okay, we'll come back to that more. But if you were going to have child number 2 or 3 or 4, I don't even care. Just say you're going to have 2. It does not make sense. So what this kind of is, a convertible crib, there's different styles, there's different models, okay? But overall, you start out with a crib and it's got 4 sides on it, okay? It's got the 2 short sides and the 2 long sides. Now, often what happens when you convert it is you keep the 2 long sides and that becomes the headboard and the footboard of a larger full or queen size bed. Typically, I think they convert into a full. Now, there are some cribs that have some conversions that are like, it's still a crib, but one of the rails, you take it off or you get like a toddler rail. I don't hate that. I don't hate that because it's still essentially a crib. Now, there's pros and cons to that, but what I am mostly against is turning a crib into a full-size bed, okay? Again, multiple reasons. One of which would just be the mattress, okay? So if you have a crib and you put a toddler rail on one side, or you take the rail off and it's a 3-sided crib, you're still using all the same pieces. You just took a piece off. Maybe you added a tiny little toddler rail, but again, not a ton of pieces. You're not getting a new mattress. You're not getting box springs. You're not getting, like the supports for underneath the bed or like the mattress. You know how it has that like, it looks like chicken wire, but it's what holds up the mattress. When you go from a crib to a full-size bed, where's that piece going? And again, those smaller sides of the crib, where are those pieces going? You're just storing them forever? Or are you literally putting them in the trash? It does not make sense. And what I'm saying with having that second child is, okay, so say you have a crib, you buy the crib, you convert it into the full-size bed when they're 2.5, and then you have a second child. You cannot turn that back into a crib because then they don't have a bed. Or you have all these like random crib pieces and parts, but you don't have a full crib. I believe the best thing you can do is buy a crib. Kid uses it, you then buy them a big bed. The crib is then still there for that next child. And then when you're done with that, you can just get rid of the crib and it's all the pieces are still together, okay? This convertible nonsense, you have parts and pieces for big bed and parts and pieces for little baby crib. It is so silly. It does not make sense. Like really think it through. Logically, it does not make sense. It's presented like you're saving money because, oh, it grows with baby. You're not saving money. Okay, you still have to buy that additional mattress, additional parts and pieces to convert it. And like I said, for that next baby, you're starting over. How is this saving you money? In fact, I think convertible cribs are probably costing you more money in the long run. A huge problem would be storage. So again, when you have it as a crib, you have those pieces. You may have bought the expansion pack essentially, or maybe you need to buy it in the future. Whatever the case is, you make that switch, turn it into a full-size bed. You at least, off the top of my head, have 4 major parts that you're storing. The 2 small ends of the crib, those are not on the big bed anywhere. Those are somewhere in storage. The piece that I said that holds up the mattress, like kind of looks like chicken wire, springs, whatever you want to call it. That piece, you don't need that for the full-size bed, and the mattress itself, the crib-size mattress. So you have 4 decent-sized pieces that you're now storing. And storing them for what purpose? What are you storing them for? Once your kid is grown up, you don't need to keep those. So then are you trashing them? Yes, the mattress you could resell, but the other parts are in an incomplete crib. It is so, so silly. It just literally doesn't make sense. It angers me, in fact. I would never recommend a convertible crib to anyone. Another huge problem is that you're like locked into the headboard and the footboard, typically is how it goes. Those were on the crib, they go into the big bed. So my child gnawed on the crib. We have teeth marks on our crib. And yes, I know you can buy like, they're not bumpers, but like a rail cover. Well, guess what? The rail covers for ours, they only fit on 3 of them. The side that looks more like a headboard, there was nowhere to tie them. So that is the side that got chewed on the most. Also, the rail covers, when we put them on, we covered the sides, but the corners, they chewed on the corners. Okay, when you have a teething baby, they'll chew on anything. And it happened very quickly. It wasn't like, oh, we noticed a little bit. It was like one night, They went to town on their crib. Our crib was bought secondhand. We didn't care that much. We actually still have it for like guests in our guest bedroom in case they bring a baby with them. So it's still getting used. It is not attractive though. It has bite marks, and I would not want the headboard to now be in my child's room as their bed until they're 10, 16, 18, move out. I don't know. I just wouldn't want those teeth marks. So for me, the crib does not need to be their big bed. And another thing with that, the damage, the teeth marks, would also be just the style of it. Do you really want that same piece of furniture forever? Some people, yes, they're never going to change it out. Other people, they do like to change things out. For me, that's not the biggest deal, but for some people it would be. So again, the only time that I think it makes sense is if you are one and done with a child. Even then though, I would not recommend it. I would do a crib and then do a big bed and get rid of all the cribs so somebody can actually use all those parts and pieces. Because say you are having one kid, you're one and done, you buy the crib and then you move them up to a big bed, you're probably going to gift that mattress to somebody, but then those couple parts and pieces you're literally throwing in the trash. And that seems very, very wasteful to me and just silly. Or you're storing them for 18 years. Again, the storing them forever just seems ridiculous as well. So for me, again, the better alternative is to buy the crib, buy the big bed. And if you're going to have a lot of kids really close together, I would even go so far as to buy a crib, buy a little toddler bed, and then get like a single or a full that is a larger bed. That way that say you have like, again, boom, boom, boom. You have the 5-year-old in the big bed. You got the 2.5, 3-year-old in like the little toddler bed for a little while. And then you have your like infant in the crib. Again, if you're going to just do a bunch of like 2 under 2s, that would be the way to go. If you're not, and you're willing to gap your kids out a little bit, I would do the crib, keep them in there as long as possible, and then just switch them straight to the big bed when you're ready for that next baby to come along. The convertible crib is one of those items that's marketed. It sounds good. Buy it once and you're done for their entire life. And it's just really, really sold to you. But the convenience is not all there. All right, there's that crib mattress is not working on a big bed. You're still going to have to buy a mattress later. It's false. You're not done. Okay, you're not done. It is not that simple. You really have to watch it with baby items and the marketing and just all the products that are shoved in your face and told you they are the solution. Okay, parenting is still hard. Decisions have to be made and things do have to be bought along the way. You can't just be done at your baby registry. It's not that simple. So I want you to watch out before you make these large investments and think of them practically and think of them as like a real life scenario in your home. What's going to happen when we convert it? Oh, which pieces do we use? And I don't want you to be tricked into buying things that do not work for you practically. I want real life solutions in your home. And that's why I offer a baby registry review service where you basically tell me a little bit about your life. Are you going back to work? Are you a stay-at-home mom? Daycare? What's the vibe? And then I look at your baby registry. I will analyze your items, tell you what to get, tell you what to skip, maybe what you have forgotten or what you need to remove, and simply be that second set of eyes on your baby registry. But I'm not your mom, I'm not your sister, and I'm not your best friend. I'm not going to be offended, and ideally I will not offend you. Okay, I am that impartial second opinion. So if you're interested in checking out more about my services, the link will be down in the description. And for now, if you want to check out more videos kind of similar to my services, I have videos on this channel where I go through Amazon baby registries and evaluate and analyze the items one by one. Check those out and I will see you there.